Lesson 1. Health. Hi friends, welcome to Mind Cups on Listenable, brought to you by Quincy, Washington Productions. The legendary Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw famously said that youth is wasted on the young, and you can bet that he didn't reach this sacred wisdom until the very day that his own hair went gray and the deep wrinkles started to set in on his face. That's to say, he was probably pretty old before he realized this for himself, as is so often the case as people age. That's the problem with being young, free, and none the wiser. You'll arrive at the most important realizations of life once it's too late to actually put them into practice. The opportunity of youth is like a great big shiny ship passing by along the horizon. It's there for a glorious moment and then poof, it's gone. George Bernard Shaw's advice rings true as a warning to millions of people. Life is meant to be lived, so please do yourself the biggest favor. Live it. Mr. Shaw lived a glorious and illustrious life, impressive enough that he won a Nobel Prize in Literature for his work. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe let's stop and think and take heed to his sage words. To prevent you from wasting precious decades of your life wishing that you'd lived differently while you still had your youth, we've compiled a list of the most pertinent things that your older self is begging for you to know today. No matter what your age is, this audio course will be useful to you because it is never too late to become the best version of yourself. The course consists of 7 lessons: health, people, love, wealth, living, warnings, and self. And in this first lesson, we'll focus on health. And a word of warning, this audio course is pretty long, but it may change your life for the better. So take this chance. Here are 70 things your 70-year-old self wants you to know. Number 1. Take care of your teeth. Thanks to your milk teeth, you've had a trial run at keeping those pearly whites white. So you have no excuse if you choose to mess it all up. But what happened? You guzzled down a cup of Starbucks each morning, a couple of cigarettes during your work break, and a pack of Skittles on your way home. Years and years of this has now caused chaos in your oral regions. And now, rather tragically, what was once a lovely set of pearly white teeth resembles a baby gorilla's toenails. Number 2. Go to your physician, even if you're embarrassed about it. We'll try and be sensitive here because we know it's a touchy subject. And that's not just because of the sensitive areas your doctor might need to touch during your examinations. But on a serious note, to quote the great Benjamin Franklin, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." In fact, a study by Cancer Research UK found that, if diagnosed at the earliest stage, 9 in 10 bowel cancer patients survive the disease for 5 years or more. So never be afraid to go in for that checkup. And don't be tempted to delay your visit either, no matter how small you think the chances are that there's something wrong. Medical care can be a marvel, but realize that being prudent about your own health can, quite literally, save your life. Visiting your doctor, being mindful about what you eat, the quality of your sleep, and managing your stress levels are always wise lifestyle choices. When you take responsibility of your own health, you give your mind and body the best opportunity to perform at their best. Hollywood does a terrific job of making it appear like doctors can cure absolutely anything and never make bad calls, but they're still just human beings at the end of the day. Their lunch break may be fast approaching, and sometimes you're the one thing standing between them and that glorious meatball marinara footlong they've been looking forward to devouring once they get the chance. Their minds wander, and they would rather be somewhere else, in their happy place. And yet here you both are, 2 acquaintances sharing this intimate moment. You're in the fetal position, and your doctor's index finger is up, goodness knows where. So much for that meatball marinara sub, huh? Number 3. That Drake concert may be sick, but losing your hearing is a whole new kind of sick. We'll keep this short and sweet. Tinnitus is the paper cuts of all illnesses. So, Do yourself a favor and bring some earplugs with you if you fear that those dope beats are going to drop so hard that your eardrums will pop. Number 4. Lift with your knees, not your back. You might have thought your high school geography teacher was a straight-up pain in the backside. Well, newsflash, we're here to tell you something. She might well be, but she's certainly not the biggest pain in the old posteriors. Chronic back pain is one of the most frustrating things to have to go through. So please, take care of those precious vertebrae. Your life is not an Xbox game. There is no button for options, restart. You've been warned. Number 5. Don't be daft. Slather on that sunscreen like your life depends on it. One day, it just might. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? But do you know what else might keep the doctor away in the future? Yeah, you guessed it. Good old SPF 50. According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, regular, daily use of an SPF 15 or higher sunscreen reduces the risk of developing melanoma by 50%. Overexposure to the sun can damage the elastic fibers that keep the skin smooth and firm. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until it has sadly faded away. Sorry for laying down the truth so abruptly. In 20 years, and the next successive 20 years, you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way that you can't possibly fathom right now just how many possibilities lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. Unless, of course, you use that sunscreen and follow these lessons from now on. Number 6. Drink that water. Actually, important caveat here. If by some chance you find yourself in a dark and dank alley and some old, bedraggled, smelly man scratching his bum offers you a cheeky sip from his cup, then definitely don't drink that water. Anyway, hopefully you get what we mean. According to Harvard Health, the benefits of drinking enough water include improved skin complexion, better weight management, aiding digestion, preventing kidney damage, and stabilizing your heartbeat. So, you'd be a fool to skimp out on that lovely H2O. Half a gallon a day is the holy grail. But if you can't manage that, just keep it simple. Drink a little bit whenever you feel thirsty throughout the day, so that your pee doesn't always end up looking like Guinness straight from the bottle. A pale straw color is a healthy sign. Number 7. Don't stuff yourself with sugary trash all freaking day. So much of what you eat may be loaded with a whole bunch of sugar, fat, sodium, and a dash of additives to boot. E102, E150, E954. If you're busy guzzling down these E numbers, trans fats, sugar, artificial colorings, and flavorings, please don't be surprised when you find that you have enormously high cholesterol and blood pressure. Try to include real foods in your diet where you can. Fruit, vegetables, whole grains. You know the deal, and you've heard it all before. If your food has gone through several stages of processing to arrive on your plate, you might shed a tear to know that at some point along that journey, the nutrients in that food decided to bid farewell. That ice-cold can of beer, that pack of Cheetos and Twinkies will please your stomach for the moment, but please, let's not have any favoritism when it comes to your organs. Spare a thought for your heart, liver, and kidneys too. Take care of your whole body. You only get one. Number 8. Get some sleep. Those all-nighters will catch up to you. Investing in a top-of-the-line mattress is a safer place to put your cash than a lot of other purchases you might think of. Think about it. Apart from making awful fashion choices each morning, what else do you spend a third of your life doing? We're only kidding. But really, according to the Library of Medicine, we spend a third of our lives sleeping or trying to get sleep. So, it only makes sense that choosing a bed that you look forward to sleeping in is an important thing. Come to think of it, you should try and look at your mattress as your second spouse. You should be in love with your bed that much. Just don't get too freaky. It's just a mattress at the end of the day. Calm down. Number 9. Be careful about what you put on your skin, in your hair, and in your body. Shampoos, creams, air pollution, water, medication, food. They say you are what you eat, but guess what? You're also what you breathe and what you put in and on your body. So be mindful about what you do with it. And specific to hair, you've seriously got to watch out for anything you put in your precious locks, or else, one day, you might turn a corner and find that your scalp looks less like Bradley Cooper's and more like Shrek's. Number 10. Don't sit down so much. Unless, of course, we're in the cinema screening of a Marvel movie and you're standing proudly in the front row, in which case, put those nasty buns back on those seats before we call the staff. Sitting down for ages can cause utter havoc on your body in a way that is deceptively damaging. Several studies have shown that sitting almost non-stop for more than 8 hours a day with no physical activity presents similar risks to health as smoking. So, while your kindergarten teachers may have told you to stay still and to stop fidgeting, it turns out that they had it all wrong after all. Get up, move around, stretch. We weren't made to be couch potatoes, bums glued to our sofas and eyes transfixed to our TVs and our mobile phones. Nor were we made to be robots at the office, bodies fully rigid except for our little fingers tapping away at keyboards nonstop all day long. There's a real world out there to see and real people to interact with. Get out there when you can. You won't regret it. That's all for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll explore the next 10 things your 70-year-old self wants you to know about people. So if you're ready for your second dose of knowledge, then let's continue.